Hi, welcome back to my channel. This video is for a review for a book called The Dachshund Wears Prada. It's the first book in the Paws in the City series by Stephanie London. It will be out May 3rd, so some of my reviews will be done ahead of time, but they won't go up until the review goes on my blog. Or, yeah, I guess until it goes on my blog. I'm doing this for a blog tour, and I think my date for this is May 2nd or May 4th, so that's about the time that you'll see this video. Now, this is a romantic comedy. As a matter of fact, even in the author's, in the blurb, there's a quote by an author named Terry Wilson who says, "This is the rom-com Carrie Bradshaw would have written if she were a dog person, and I'm obsessed." So, obviously, the Dachshund wears Prada, so we know it's about a dog, and we know the dog is a Dachshund, but it's also a romantic comedy. Now, what is a romantic comedy to you? Okay, to me, a romantic comedy is a book that will make you, if not laugh out loud, have a smile on your face most of the time when you're reading the book. A book that is a light book, and a book that has very nice moments of levity peppered in. Those are the things that I think of when I think of a romantic comedy. And then I was trying to think of some romantic comedy movies. And if I were to Google it, which I did, there's not a lot of movies that come up as the best romantic comedies that I've seen, because it's just not my genre. It's not my genre of choice for reading, and it's not my genre of choice for watching movies. But I love romance, and I love Harlequin books, and I also love Stephanie London. So you say 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, right? So yes, I wanted to read this book. Now, take a look at the cover. Look at this proud Dachshund. Are you seeing how she's holding her head up? Well, her name is Camilla. And what is this book about? Well, this book is about two people, okay? We have Theo Thompson, okay? And then, Ela Thompson and Theo Garrison. I did have to look at their last names. Theo is a loner. I think he's called the Hermit of Wall Street, if I'm saying that correctly. And Ela is a social media influencer. Very, right in your face social media person. And she works with the elite, sometimes with the Hollywood elite. And in her most recent job, she was working with a 16-year-old actress, and a disaster happened, and Ela lost her job. What is it about Theo that makes him stand out in this book? Well, as I said, he's a loner, a hermit, and he lives on Wall Street. So who is this character? Well, he has a history, and his history has to do with his parents, something that had happened in his past. But we're not going to go there because I don't want to give you any spoilers. Now, what I like about Ela is that she has a half-sister named Danny who's 14 years old, and their mother left them at some point. That's not a spoiler. So she's raising Danny and has been raising her for quite some time. Well, Danny is an aspiring ballerina, a very, very, very talented ballerina at the age of 14. So not only is Ela focused on giving Danny the best future she can, is she's securing her world in the best way possible when it comes to supporting her love of the ballet. Well, when Theo's grandmother dies, I don't know if it's the lawyer or whoever it was that, read the will or whatever, comes to him and says, "Oh, by the way, this is yours," and it's kind of like a case or whatever you have it. And inside is a dog. So now Theo is a dog owner. And the guy says to Theo, "But you don't really have to keep her. I can take her to a shelter. Your grandmother won't know. She's gone." He goes, "Yes, but I'll know." So Theo takes on the responsibility of Camilla. Camilla is everybody's worst nightmare if you're not a dog person. okay? Whether it's expensive shoes, whether it's tearing up the walls, whether it's peeing on your foot, excuse my French, that's what Camilla is all about. Well, as mentioned, Theo works on Wall Street, so he's got this big job and a lot of responsibility. And when his grandmother passed away, not only did she leave him with Camilla, but she left him with a massive itinerary of Camilla's daily activities. Well, there's no way Theo has time to involve himself in all of the things that Camilla is supposed to do every single day. So he hires a dog sitter, and then another dog sitter, and then another dog sitter, and then another. Why? That's where the romantic comedy, that's where the comedy in this book comes from. Camilla chooses her people, and none of the dog sitters Theo has hired is going to work. Well, one day, Camilla alerts Theo that she needs to go out. So he says, okay, fine, I'll take you to the park or wherever. So he's out with Camilla, and he sees not a little girl, but he sees a young girl doing a ballet pose. Can I do a ballet pose? And another woman is back, and she's taking pictures. And that's how he meets Isla and Danny. And Danny falls in love with the dog, and then Isla goes over and she pets the dog. They talk for about a minute or 2 minutes, and next thing you know, Theo offers her a job as a dog sitter. Well, remember, Isla just lost her job. And also she's supporting her sister in the world of ballet. So she takes the job, sight unseen. But he says, here's my business card. You can check me out. It's on the up and up, and the job is yours. And so she starts to work with Theo. No, she doesn't work with Theo. I'm sorry. She starts to work with Camilla. So that's the whole setup of the book. I don't think in this whole time I've been talking to you, I've gone past chapter 2. So because I'm not one for spoilers, but that's the setup of the book. So what happens from here on in? Well, it's a romantic comedy. So we know that there's going to be a romance in the book, and our principal characters are Isla and Theo. So that's our couple. But we have other people in the book. We have Danny, and we have Isla's best friend, and for some reason, all of a sudden, I just drew a blank on her best friend's name. And we see the story behind who Theo is and even who Isla is. Now, the reason I asked at the beginning of this review what is a romantic comedy is I found this book to be quite a sensitive book. There were at least two times when I read this book that I got hit hard. I felt like, wow, okay. The emotional ground that this book stands on, top of the, salt of the earth. It's excellently done. And I say excellently done because in any relationship, there's going to be baggage. So when this baggage is revealed or exposed or considered or however you want to put it, you start to see some levity. You have a book that's light on content when it comes to this rambunctious dog, but it's heavy on the emotional edge, and I loved it. So I'm going to give the Dachshund Whiz Prada 5 stars, and I hope you read the book yourself, because if you do, you'll love it. And basically, to let you know where it is, you can get it at the Kindle Store for $9.99. It's a Harlequin publication, and you can also get it by Audible or even your library. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.